Alright, I usually make a lot of these types of videos. Another corny and cringy conversation that we're going to have. But sometimes I lose track. Sometimes I am blinded by the problems in my life that it blinds me and prevents me from seeing how beautiful the world is. That sounded very corny, but it's true. It really is true. You try so hard to enjoy the life sometimes. No, let me phrase it again. Sometimes you just simply forget how to enjoy life. Sometimes you just forget how to live your life because you are so blinded by a lot of the frustration and problems that you have. And you just can't help but focus on those things. And you don't know how to live. You don't know how to enjoy life. You don't know how to do things. And I was there. I've been there. Before you're so hung up on loneliness, so hung up on bills to pay, so hung up on credit card debt, so hung up on, you know, drifting away from your friends, so hung up on the fact that you might be like, feeling behind, seeing that everybody is accomplishing their goals or doing things, accomplishing internships, uh, finding jobs, traveling the world, and you think that that's how you should be at by now, right? And it prevents you from living your own life at your own pace because if everybody is here, you should be there also. And it's kind of, and I started to and I realized that that's just not the case. That's not true. You're not really behind. You're living your own life, and you have to live by your own pace. And I get it. That's true. See, the thing is, one of the biggest things that bodybuilding has taught me is that everybody is working out at their own pace because you would see somebody jacked with an amazing physique and they're younger than you or they're the same age as you, right? Like they're either the same age as you or they're younger than you and they have a better physique than you, right? And it kind of gets in your head and be like I you start feeling jealous, you start feeling envious, being like you start getting body dysmorphia, you start hating yourself a little bit, telling yourself, why don't I look like that? Like they look so much better than me, and you start degrading yourself. And because of that mindset, you kind of lose track of that you look much better than the way you did before. You know? I looked like I don't look the best. I don't look like some of these fitness influencers. I don't look that good. But comparing me to me like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I look so much better. I feel comfortable enough to pose and flex in front of the mirror. I never did that before. I never posed, I never flexed, I literally never did anything remotely close to be looking at myself in the mirror and be like, wow, I I look pretty good. And because you keep comparing yourself to other people, you kind of lose sight of what really matters. And what matters is that you are actually appreciating yourself. You're appreciating your life for once. Like there's no, you know, in bodybuilding, you there's the only person that you're competing with is you, right? And as corny as it sounds, as cringy as it sounds, I mean, unless you're really on a stage, okay, technically you are competing against other people because you're doing it competitively, but that's a different thing, right? That's the competitive aspect. I mean, everything is competitive. Okay, like everything is competitive. Let's face it. But there is a silver lining within those competitiveness where even if you lose, you still win because you are much better than you looked before. And I think that's a win in my book. And I think that's what truly matters because the truth is that everybody is doing their own thing. Everybody is living their own life. They had the luck of, because the thing is that they started lifting before me. Like if you look at somebody who's at the same age as me or someone younger than me, they just started lifting at a younger age. I started lifting around like 17, 18. Some people probably started lifting at 14, 15. So um they got like 4 years ahead of me. And the thing is that I just you just people just start at random, like they don't, like they just start, like some people just so happen to start at 14, some people just so happen to start at 18. It just happens that way. And that's just how life works. Things just happen at different times. There's no reason. There's no That doesn't mean that they're better than you, right? They just so happen to happen. And it just so happens that some people were able to find an internship that they wanted to pursue. Some people just so happen to find a job. And the thing is that you kind of just have to get into the mindset that things just happen, right? Things happen for a reason, but that doesn't disregard the fact that things just happen at different times. And it took me a while to realize that because I get so hung up on the fact that people, it feels like people are ahead of me. People are traveling the world. People, but like I said, there's just too many variables that come into play that it's hard to compare yourself to other people because you guys are not living the same life, right? Like some people I know, I like for example, I probably started lifting earlier than some people. Some people are just getting into the gym by like 25, 30, 40. I started lifting at 18. Some people lifting started lifting at 14. Like I said, like people do things at different times, and it's there's too many variables that come into play to make you compare yourself to other people. It's like comparing apples to oranges. It's incomparable. But for some reason, we just keep comparing ourselves to other people. You just have to realize that things happen at different times for a reason, but still they happen at different times. I think everything happens for a reason, but the timing of things happening, the timings of things, they just happen, right? Like life just it's just luck. It really is just luck. Some people are lucky enough to start lifting at an earlier age at 14. I'm lucky enough to start lifting at 18 while some people are lifting at 30. It's funny how that works. And you just have to realize that. You kind of just have to understand that things just happen at different times, and you know, you kind of lose sight. You kind of lose sight that kind of lose sight of the reality of things because you're so hung up in your head. You're so you're so caught up in your mind too much. You've been living in your head too much, and you kind of lose sight of what's actually happening, what's reality. And I hope that this message came across properly. Hopefully, you thought this. I mean, even if you disagree with me, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with anything that I've said. But if you thought it was interesting, hopefully you liked having this conversation with me. But I'm gonna wrap it up for this video. And, you know, hopefully, you like listening to me talk. But I'm gonna end it here, and I hope you're doing well.